We're talking today about the Cook Islands Trust, what we consider to be the strongest legal asset protection structure in the world. Now, the Cook Islands are located south of Hawaii. They're in the same time zone, and it has the strongest case law history in the world in our research. And it's not just theory, but it's a fact that the research that we have done has shown that 100% of the time it has protected the client's assets from lawsuits. And we're talking about the type of lawsuits where let's say a flower shop owner or somebody comes in and intentionally trips and falls with the intention of suing, and where the expense of legal defense is greater than the amount of the judgment, or maybe the amount of judgment is significant. We're talking about those type of cases where the frivolous cases where there's loopholes in the law, where people, good, moral, honest business people get into litigation, and that's the type of protection we're talking about, asset protection. So here's how it works. Let's say there's a court in the U.S., the U.K., Canada, and there's a judgment is rendered, and one becomes a judgment debtor and is ordered to pay funds. Now, the trustee resides in the Cook Islands. They are licensed in the Cook Islands. That's where they reside, and the local courts don't have jurisdiction over the Cook Islands. The local courts that rendered the judgment, and they can refuse to bring the funds back to the judgment jurisdiction because they are not under the jurisdiction of the court that rendered the judgment. So the day-to-day activities initially can be controlled by the client. We establish a limited liability company that's 100% owned by the Cook Islands Trust. Now, we typically establish the limited liability company in the Caribbean island of Nevis, and so the client is the manager initially of the Nevis LLC, is the signature on all the bank accounts, and has full control of the assets initially in the Nevis LLC that's 100% owned by the Cook Islands Trust again. Now, when the bad thing happens and judgment's rendered, you can temporarily, if you like, give up the management of the Nevis LLC to the trustee. Now, keeping in mind, the trustee is licensed and bonded. By license, we mean they went through intensive background checks to get a license, and by bonded, we mean the funds are insured by an insurance company. There's a bond that the trustee has to secure and protect your funds. Plus, we use a 30-year-old trust company. They come and visit us at our office about once every 6 months. I believe we're the largest, or one of their largest clients in the world, and they deal strictly with professional people and companies such as ours. So for client safety and peace of mind, the only time the trustee steps in is when the courts would take the money. So the question is, would you rather have a 100% chance of the money being taken by a person who sued you frivolously and won, or would you rather have a licensed bonded trustee who's never taken a client's money, do what you paid them to do, and that's protect your money? So when the bad thing goes away, the string of control, which is the management of the Nevis LLC, and the judgment goes away, the management of the Nevis LLC goes back to you, and you're back in the driver's seat with all of your money intact. In the meantime, if you have bills to pay, the trustee can pay them for you. You can have the trustee pay a trusted friend or relative who pays the bills for you or takes care of you somehow. So in other words, you have access to the money, but the frivolous litigant does not. The bottom line is everything that you've worked so hard for is safe and secure. The best asset protection that the trust provides is for liquid assets held offshore, held in a safe, good, safe jurisdiction like Switzerland, a good, moral, safe jurisdiction. So the U.S. court, for example, has jurisdiction over U.S. bank accounts and real estate. So one can put real estate in the Nevis LLC that's owned by the trust, or record a lien against the property payable to the Nevis LLC. And then when the bad thing happens, it's really better to sell the property, even if you don't want to sell it, than it is to lose it altogether. At least you can have the liquid assets, the proceeds from the sale, even if it's a fire sale. It's better to have some of the money than none of it, and those funds can be placed in that Nevis LLC bank account. And again, the Nevis LLC is owned by the trust 100%. And we set up a lot of Cook Islands trusts for attorneys because it's certainly a specialty of ours, expertise of ours. And in that vein, we certainly recommend one gets tax advice from a licensed, knowledgeable CPA, and underline the word knowledgeable in this arena. And we can recommend CPAs that are, and tax advice from a CPA and legal advice from a licensed attorney, and we can recommend those as well if you like. And it's just sound prudence to do so. We always recommend that. And in that vein as well, this is not a tax avoidance or tax evasion strategy. It's tax neutral. It's fully reported to the IRS. We even have the tax forms on our website that one can use under the guidance of a CPA. So this is fully reported, and it is meant to be used in a legal, moral fashion. So typically, typical attorney cost for this structure is somewhere between $25,000 to $40,000. We charge a significantly lower price than that. We charge a wholesale rate, and so you'll realize a much greater cost savings by using our company. So if you have any questions, you think this may be of interest to you, may be useful to you, feel free to give us a call. Talk to one of our consultants. We'll be glad to help you. And you can give us a call at 1-800-COMPANY. That's 1-800-COMPANY, 1-800-266-7269. And talk to one of our consultants, get some more questions answered if you like, and we'll be very glad to help you. Thank you.